Success doesn't come easy. It requires taking risks, whether it's learning a new skill, losing weight, or building a company. And taking risks means you might fail, as it's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying things for the first time. So it's only natural it might not work at first, and that can lead to anxiety. As experiencing failure, our brains release cortisol. It's the main stress hormone, which impacts our mood, motivation, and fear. And a lot of people choose not to experiment at all and stick to what they already can and have, just to avoid unpleasant feelings. Although lack of success might leave us feeling anxious, angry, and sad, it's important to continue learning and trying new things, because it might open up our minds, bring a new perspective, or joy from achieving our goals. And because avoiding failure is not the best option, and we still need to go through it if we want to succeed, it's better to take a different approach and see it as a learning opportunity and a chance to improve. And the more comfortable we are with failing, the better, because research is showing that failure is often a necessary requirement to be successful. But there's also a trick, because not everyone who fails becomes successful. And the researchers have built a mathematical model to identify what separates those who do succeed from those who remain just failing. Dashun Wang from the Kellogg School of Management and his fellow researchers studied topics where the outcome was clearly either success or failure. For example, they looked at how many people received funding for their research from the National Institutes of Health. They analyzed almost 800,000 applications submitted within 40 years. But to better understand the difference that made some applications successful and the others not, the researchers compared those applicants who just barely missed getting grants and those who just barely succeeded in getting them, and then followed their careers for 10 years. Of course, failure demotivates, and sometimes to the point that people don't even try again. And that showed in the analysis as well. More than 10% of people who missed getting their grants never applied again. But those who didn't succeed at first and kept applying turned out having even better careers than those who succeeded right from the start. Although that didn't happen straight away. In the first 5 years, scientists who received grants continued receiving more. But after 5 years, those who failed at first started getting the same amount of money in grants, and in 10 years, published not only the same amount of research as the winners group, but their work also turned out to have more impact in the scientific world. So what is the magic ingredient that helps losers to become winners? Surprisingly, it's not the amount of effort or dedication. The analysis showed that it's important what people do after failure and how they analyze it. Trying again and again only works if a person learns from their previous failures. And the phrase "work smarter, not harder" applies here as well, because the researchers say that we only need to focus on what didn't work and change that, rather than scraping everything and trying to find a completely new approach. They also found timing between failures to be an important factor. The shorter it is, the better, and it should decrease with every attempt. The researchers say that this metric is a stable predictor of success, and by just looking at the timing between every failure, they were able to tell if a person was going to win or lose. They even went one step further and said there is a minimum amount of failures we need to learn from before succeeding. And even though every case is different and some of them are difficult to quantify, they managed to calculate how many times researchers needed to fail before they received their grant. It was 3 times on average, which might not sound like a lot, but it takes persistence to keep going and dedication to do the analysis. Thus, failure is a great source of information, and focusing on what doesn't work and how this can be fixed is a powerful strategy to turn failure into success. So how are you with failures? Do you learn from your mistakes? Or maybe you prefer staying in your comfort zone and avoid failing altogether? Let us know in the comments below, and see you next time!